Y'all know what? I did my little countdown and my theme song, and I'm up here just talking and talking to y'all. I started going into the clip I wanted to show, and I had not gone live. So I spent almost close to 10 minutes talking to apparently myself. But anyway, welcome y'all. I want to say give a shout out to um in Harmon. No, I'm sorry, allegedly in Harmon. And let's talk about it all for being number one and number two on the moonwalk. Let me say hello to the rest of you. We've got Miss Buckeye, we got Mimi, Soundcheck Annette, we've got Justin's mom, Muffin 218, 50% Creole, 50% Californian, Miss Piggy Braxton. Um, Is this a name change? We got Nesto Shackles Shuffle Walk of Shame. I like that. Uh, y'all are so creative. Let's see. That looks April B. We got Shelly C. I think I said Miss Piggy Braxton already. Coffee is brewing. Obsessed with the mess. Butterfly 23. Breezy B. How are y'all doing? Well, what we are going to do is get right into it. And the first thing we are going to get into is going to be an interview with Suge Knight and Chris Como. He did an interview, and no, we don't want him. Uh, he did an interview with Suge Knight, and Suge Knight smoked. Suge Knight spoke about Diddy, and we're going to get into that. Okay. I mean, y'all, hey, Nikki G, I started sharing the screen. I was just a talking, and I'm like, okay, perhaps you should click the live button. What the heck is going on with this? Why won't it come up? Y'all, I don't know what's happening here. Okay, here we go. Something weird is happening with my mouse and with YouTube.
Tonight, more accusations against Sean Diddy Combs. And
that's not what I want. This is weird. I got to get that sound bite. Okay, here we go. We're going to get into Suge Knight and Chris Como. This is
From his $48 million Miami.
The rap mogul will remain detained there. This after a judge denied his appeal for bail for a second time.
something's wrong with my mouse. I'm sorry, y'all. I am so sorry. This should be. Here
for
we go.
people who have done a little bit of homework and know who you are, why should they believe you about what you against him, given your history of animosity with him?
Well, first of all, I'm not calling you, but nobody else, getting nobody to believe anything regarding him. Like I said, and I always say, me personally, I don't jump up and down and cheer for no black man going to prison or any other man, any other human being going to prison. Because people think prison is always the answer. I'm not saying a lot of people don't deserve to do their time and see what's going on. But at the same time, that's not no cheerful thing, because when you look at it, that man have kids.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Go Roro in Jackson, Tabasco. Yes, he has kids, but so do probably some of the people who he has assaulted. And I'm just curious as to why they went to interview Suge Knight in jail. That I found that interesting too, why they would go and interview him.
And whatever affects him definitely affects his kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's a lot of their kids. So it's not a good thing to be talking about any shit about the next person. But it's not a gray area with me. And at the same time, Puffy didn't react or get where he got or doing those things or those allegations by himself. He was taught from people before him, and he did it to the younger people after him. And we can talk all day and say what's true and what's not true. The only true part about it is videos, conversations, and people can see what they've done.
Mm-hmm.
But for it being happy and proud and say, what do people think?
This, first of all, Suge Knight, who is currently an inmate, you know, I don't understand this sympathy for this man. I really don't. This man has 6 children. Okay, that's fine. But he knew he had 6 children when he was committing crimes. And I also, one of the rumors that I read about was that he has his, one of his assistants made sure that everybody had that pink stuff. Y'all know that pink Coca-Cola that he likes to use. All staff members had to carry it on their person at all times so they would be able to give it to him when he requested it.
That's irrelevant. But I heard earlier today when Ray J was talking to TMZ,
Mm-hmm.
I got love for Harvey, but I see Charles always got something negative to say when it comes to West Coast people. And
What?
Charles tried to make a reference to say that, how do I feel when I'm in prison? Yeah, I'm in prison. I guarantee you, I'm free.
Shelly C says that's true about the kids. That some people, that's the reason some of the victims did not come forward.
More than Charles. If I feel like sleeping to 5 o'clock, I want to sleep 12 hours a day, I can.
Sure.
But besides all that, the fact is, it's not no competition who's going to talk the loudest or talk the best. It's not something positive that can help anybody. I don't get on no platforms unless it be something positive. If it ain't positive.
I understand what you're saying. I want you to try to make some positive points here. I get what you're saying about
Make a
TMZ, but
point.
that's not really my interest, as you might imagine. My interest is in what you can help
Not some points, but make a point at least. Hey, Miss Boogie Down.
people understand about these allegations that Diddy is facing and what you believe he's facing on the inside. Now, what's most interesting to me is that you seem to see Diddy as kind of an Epstein kind of figure, that Jeffrey Epstein, that a lot of people know what Diddy was about, and they were about the same thing, and that's why they're quiet. That's why J-Lo and Ben Affleck got divorced, because of videos that he has of her that now they know about. Where is this?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Now, this is my first time hearing this. So J-Lo and Ben Affleck divorced because he found out about videos that Diddy had. Now, they was having problems the day they got married, the day. And it's my understanding that he didn't want to be married and he went back to drinking. So as much as I don't like J-Lo, you ain't gonna put that on her. Hey, Jackson Tabasco.
Coming from with you? What do you believe about the people around Diddy and what everybody knows?
Well, first of all, you got to start with at the top. You starting with the top. Clyde Davis, Russell Simmons, Andre Arell, Jimmy Iovine. Even if you take Jimmy Iovine, he had an allegation from him, same thing, it went away. You take Jimmy Iovine. They told me at Universal and Interscope, they said, you know what? We can't deal with artists that gets in trouble. And your artist gets in trouble, they talk crazy.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Keep going, Suge.
They speak about what they speak about what they see. Now, I was told that I can't do business there.
I wonder, did they put money on his account for this call?
Because of that. Now, Doug Morris gave Puffy a deal for millions of dollars. It flopped. So when you look at all these things and everybody want to say Puffy, 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 don't get me wrong. Yeah, Puffy stepped in this shit, and even if he wiped the shit off his shoe, it still stinks. But he's not the only one. They got all the tapes.
Now, when you talk about the tapes,
but this been going on for a long time.
Hold on, Suge. Help us understand, because a lot of this stuff is a little inside baseball for people, right? Because they don't live the life, they don't know the world, they don't know the players.
Your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
That's just a recording from the prison. That's just saying that they recorded,
My
which obviously.
God.
Suge, help people understand. What tapes are you talking about? Who has them? And what kinds of things do they show?
Come on, Chris Como. You know.
Well, number one, luckily, I wasn't their first choice, their second choice. I wasn't no choice to be at those freaky parties. But you know what they show. They used to have a thing in the industry, right?
Y'all, wait a minute. I just saw this. I just paid attention to this. It says on the phone live from prison. Ooh.
And the sad thing about it, I don't like mentioning Usher. I don't like mentioning Justin Bieber. I don't like mentioning all these people that everybody know what time it is. So at the same time, they used to have a joke. They never played this joke with me. And they used to walk in the Interscope office. They'd go back there and they'd be like, hey, we passed the test. I said, we haven't did the test. One dude said, well, don't say that in front of Mr. Knight because he's going to take it offensive and hurt somebody. I said, well, whatever it is, I probably will take it offensive when somebody will get their ass whooped. You know, that was me in those days. They used to have these guys, they used to call it the boiled egg test. They used to take a boiled egg, a raw boiled egg, and have those guys put their pants down and bend over and get up their ass. The eggs break.
Oh, for heaven's
They say
sake.
they're not ready yet. They ain't put enough work in. This is Hollywood. So everybody want to go act like they don't know what's going on.
Hold on a second,
But
Suge.
if you just look, that's all
Suge,
you got to do is
I have never heard of anything like that. So if I haven't heard about it, just assume a lot of people haven't heard that before. But you think it's on video?
Let's stop for a second.
Go ahead, Suge.
Yeah, listen, and also, have you ever been to any puffy parties?
No.
You sure they had a long time to think about it. But if you haven't been in those
No,
naked parties, even some of the preachers been in those parties, and they wasn't on their knees praying for God. See, they was praying for somebody to have come real quick or something. But I wasn't there, but there's proof of it. But at the same time, everybody want to look around and act like something going on that wasn't right. It's the facts of life in the industry. Not for the people who don't get in.
it may be the fact of life for people in the industry, but it still does not make it right. You should not have to be essayed and do all kinds of degrading things just to let me get this out of here. Just to be famous. It's not right. Oops. I deleted somebody's comment. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I meant to delete my comment. Uh oh shit. Okay. So anyway, yeah, let's get back into it.
So everybody, you gotta look at it like this. You see a beautiful woman or you see a handsome man. And it was like that all their life. From elementary school to junior high school to high school, if they forced to go to college, right? They always knew they had something special about themselves. If you take some of the Hollywood executives or some artists, they might have been the ugly duckling for a long time before they had the teeth fix and lips fix and nose fix, all the work done. Underneath, they still the young people with no confidence because they've been that way all their fucking life. So all of a sudden, if you look at Puffy old pictures, don't look nothing like his new pictures. You know, shit, they didn't do everything.
Now, I will agree with that. He really does not look the same. He looks, I mean, he does look possessed to me.
He has plastic surgery. All I'm saying is, I'm not saying that you're wrong about rich people doing stuff to their face or whatever it is, but that's different than the allegations that are coming down on him.
I'm talking about richer people. I'm talking about the difference. I'm talking about, okay, look at it like this. I look at real plain and simple. Ain't no whistleblower. Facts is there. But right now, I don't care if it's T.I., I don't care if it's Rick Ross, I don't care if it's Jay, I don't care if it's Snoop, I don't care if it's Game, I don't care if it's Dre. Nobody's stepping up on the fact that you know what's going on.
Nobody's defending him.
You're right. Guys at Interscope.
You're right.
Okay.
Nobody is defending him, but that's why I was interested in hearing your perspective.
Oh, I'm sorry. What's going on? Oh,
Do you know Sean Combs?
what happened?
The life, they don't know the world, they don't know the players.
Telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
That's just the recording from the prison that's just saying that they record it, which obviously they do. Suge, help people understand what tapes you.
They could take a boiled egg, a raw boiled egg, and have those guys put their pants down and bend over and they stick it up their ass.
Okay.
But at the same time, everybody want to look around and act like something going on that wasn't right. It's the facts of life in the industry, not for the people who don't get in. So
That must have been the end of the interview. I'm sorry, y'all. I was looking away.
So all of a sudden, if you look at Puffy old pictures, don't look nothing like his new pictures. You know, shit, they didn't do everything.
But Suge, just because he has plastic surgery, all I'm saying is, I'm not saying that you're wrong about rich people doing stuff to their face or whatever it is, but that's different than the allegations that are coming down on him.
I'm talking about richer people. I'm talking about the difference. I'm talking about, okay, look at it like this. I look at real plain and simple. Ain't no ain't no whistleblower. Facts is there. But right now, I don't care if it's T.I., I don't care if it's Rick Ross, I don't care if it's Jay, I don't care if it's Snoop, I don't care if it's Game, I don't care if it's Dre. Nobody's stepping up on the fact that you know what's going on.
Nobody's defending him. You're right.
Guys at Interscope.
You're right.
Okay.
Nobody is defending him, but that's why I was interested in hearing your perspective.
Okay, that's what happened. It ended the interview, and who was that? Jackson Tabasco. You were right. This interview is ignorant and ghetto. Oh my gosh. All right, we are now going to get into
for people who have done a little,
because his son got some stuff going on too, and we are going to get into that. But what do y'all think so far? What do y'all think about what Suge Knight said? Because you know, Suge Knight, he did some things, so I can see him as not seeing all of the things
$48 million
that went
Miami
on.
mansion.
I can see him not seeing anything wrong with what Diddy did, but the industry shouldn't matter.
Tonight, more accusations against Sean Diddy Combs, and now one of his sons. A new 31-page lawsuit filed on Thursday details a trip in 2022 where the plaintiff alleges she was working as a stewardess aboard a yacht.
Hey, Leo lady. Also, Little Rod, his lawsuit, I don't know if you guys have heard it before, but he talks about some nefarious things going on with Diddy, the son, and some underage girls. Go Roro said Jay-Z is on the run. Oh.
Owned by Combs when his son, Christian, drugged and sexually assaulted her. The lawsuit alleges that an audio recording made during the night in question is evidence of the woman denying his advances as he gropes her. The plaintiff's lawyer provided those clips to NBC News. In one recording, a woman, believed to be the alleged victim, is heard saying,
"Excuse me, you don't touch my legs like that. I'll move my legs the way I want to. If I want to do this, then I will. You don't touch my legs like that."
Soon after, according to the lawsuit, Christian speaks and tries to get her to stay.
Who can I talk to? I'm going to say I requested you right now.
Well, you can take your hand off my for the first thing.
According to the lawsuit, the alleged victim then left the recording studio and attempted to resume.
Do y'all hear her? She sounds like she has some substances in her, and I truly believe she did. She's not saying, as far as I know, she's not saying that she does, but it sure sounds like it. And here again, on tape. This is on tape. How do you commit crimes and record it? Somebody please help me with that. I don't understand.
Her stewardess duties, but the suit alleges Christian found her again, this time asking her to find him a place to sleep. She claims she showed him to a cinema area, but instead of resting, she alleges in the suit that he became violent and wouldn't let her leave. He groped her, the lawsuit claims, took his clothes off, grabbed her arms, and tried to force her to perform oral sex on him. The woman claims she fought him off until someone else walked in. The lawsuit includes photos of a bruised forearm, allegedly the victim's. As for Christian's famous father, the suit claims he turned what was sold as a wholesome family excursion on his yacht into a hedonistic environment where employees were exposed without their consent to unlawful drug use, sex work, and general chaos. Representatives for Christian and Sean Combs did not respond to NBC's request for comment.
I bet they did.
It comes amid a wave of legal troubles for the rap mogul, who had two of his homes
Now, just think about this. And I'm not saying I feel sorry for Christian Combs, but what I am saying is look at the environment he was raised in. He should know better, but look at what he had. So, in a way, I think it's a shame. I don't feel sorry for him, but I do think that it is a shame.
Sex trafficking lawsuits, allegations he has denied. Legal experts say prosecutors could use the claims in the new lawsuit to build a broader case.
There is a statute under federal law called RICO, the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act. It allows prosecutors to really connect those dots between the various criminal acts, such as the sex trafficking, such as forced labor, such as all of those allegations that we have read, which, if proven, would constitute together a larger criminal enterprise.
Okay, with that, Ellison Barber.
And thank you for the Cash App, Go Roro, and Jackson Tabasco. Thank you so much.
Now in studio, Ellison, great to see you. So this is not the first lawsuit we've seen where other people are named, but has anyone been criminally charged yet?
So related to all of this legal activity, so far there has only been one known arrest, and it was for a 25-year-old associate of Diddy's. And interestingly, he wasn't charged with anything related to sexual harassment, sexual assault, or sex crimes. It was a charge related to possession of cocaine. And Diddy's lawyers have pointed to that in the past to say, look, Diddy has not been arrested or criminally charged. In fact, after that raid happened on two of his homes, they released a statement calling that raid an overuse of what they described as military level force, and also saying, we want to remind people in all of these criminal and or civil different allegations that have come forward, Diddy has never been arrested or charged. And that is true still at this point. But
you know what? I wish that I think when they raided the house, I don't think he was there, but the kids were. I really wish, well, no, let me not say I wish. Let me ask this question. Let me pose this question. Do y'all think it was necessary for them to go in there with all that force like they did? I'm curious about that because I am on the fence about it. I just think it was maybe overkill, but then, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. What do y'all think? Jackson Tabasco said Christian dated Bria Hicks. I would love to know if she witnessed anything while they were dating. You know something? Somebody brought to my attention something I had totally forgot about. Y'all remember Lori Harvey used to date, I think it was Christian. I'm not sure. If it's not Christian, it was Justin. Remember, she used to date him. And, you know, now all of a sudden she started dating Diddy. Do y'all remember that? That's crazy and nasty at the same time.
from the legal experts we've spoken to, they say that could change. And sometimes prosecutors are waiting to build an even bigger case, not just against one person, but maybe multiple.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.
All right. So we got that one. So Christian or King Combs is in trouble. But, you know, like I said, his environment, I'm on the fence. I'm just on the fence about it. And please make sure you thumbs up the video. Shelly C says, what was the purpose if they weren't going to arrest anyone? I'm glad they did, though. Yeah, that's how they got all that evidence. You know, I mean, that's what I'm saying. It was a search warrant. It was a search warrant. I mean, all of the military style stuff, I just think that it was too much. I really think it was too much. Miss Boogie Down said she dated Justin, then the dad, WTF, and was going to dinner with Diddy, her mother, and her stepdad. Go figure. I know. Wasn't that something to see them going to dinner? You just dated my son. Now I'm dating you, and I'm up here having dinner with Lori Harvey and Steve Harvey, and everybody sitting there chilling. like it's nothing. Jackson Tabasco said, I'm sure they knew just the kids were in the house. They should have taken that into account and handled that differently. I'm sure that traumatized those kids. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just think that they just did too much. All of that really was not necessary. But I don't know. Maybe they thought, maybe I don't know what they thought. I really don't. Let's get into this one. This is another one that is suing him. She was from that show Making the Band, and with the group Danity Kane. I like that group, by the way. I've never seen Making the Band before, but apparently, I guess Danity Kane won. I'm not sure, but anyway, now this one is coming out suing for the abuse and the things that she went through. Breezy B said, I think they did it because they knew he had high-powered pals in the house, and they did find some. Okay. Yeah. I'm still just a little on the fence about the way they entered. 50% Creole, 50% Californian said 26 and 30 years old aren't kids, respectfully. Yeah, that's true. But the girls.
It has been a long journey to get here. She did not want to hide. Why should she hide her head in shame? She has not done anything wrong.
Dawn Richard had once been on top of the world. She was a rising star and a member of the popular girl group Danity Kane, with hits like Showstopper and Damn It. Reaching the top 10 on the Billboard charts in the early 2000s. Their mentor, none other than one of the most influential figures in American music, Sean Diddy Combs.
Yeah.
What is going on, YouTube?
That's what I'm talking about. Y'all did a great job today, ladies.
Today, Richard is back in the spotlight. In a damning new lawsuit, she's accusing her former mentor of sexual battery, forced labor, and gender-motivated violence.
These are all allegations that have become shockingly familiar against Diddy in recent months, as he has faced lawsuit after lawsuit from women and men who have accused him of all manner of bad behavior.
Richard also claims she witnessed him abusing his former girlfriend, Cassandra Ventura, better known as Cassie, on numerous occasions. Attorney Lisa Bloom is representing Richard.
Dawn had the choice to file the case as a Jane Doe, and she chose not to do that. After giving it a fair amount of thought, she wants accountability. She wants justice.
An attorney for Combs tells Nightline, quote, in an attempt to rewrite history, Dawn Richard has now manufactured a series of false claims, all in the hopes of trying to get a payday. Adding, quote, it's unfortunate that Miss Richard has cast their 20-year friendship aside to try and get money from him. But Mr. Combs is confidently standing on truth and looks forward to proving that in court. Richard is just the latest person to come forward.
Y'all look at that. Legacy Moon has gifted 5 memberships. Welcome to the Moonlight True Crime and Mysteries. We've got Jackson Tabasco, Breezy B, Go Roro, Kind and Fun, Miss D. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
With disturbing allegations against the once celebrated hip-hop mogul.
Diddy has been under criminal investigation for months by federal prosecutors here in New York. And if there are criminal charges, many of them may look a lot like what some of these individuals have been describing.
With this newest lawsuit, this would probably only expedite or increase the amount of allegations and potential witnesses who could testify against Sean Combs.
Last November, a stunning lawsuit by Cassie claimed that she was the victim of a pattern of abuse, violence, and sex trafficking by Combs. At the time,
y'all know I mentioned this the other day, but there was a woman that was suing And Diddy's lawyer, he didn't argue and say, oh, he didn't do it, this is a travesty. He went to court to have the lawsuit dropped because the statute of limitations was out. So he never confirmed or denied anything, but he's like, oh, well, you know, you didn't file in time, so you can't get nothing. That's terrible.
Time, Combs denied all wrongdoing and said that settling was not an admission of guilt. Then this explosive video.
We're going to begin tonight with the alarming images now emerging of Sean Diddy Combs.
The new video obtained exclusively by CNN.
Diddy's flying through the hallway of this hotel, and he's so brutal. And Cassie is so small and just appears to be so broken. Like, there's a point where she just stays on the ground.
It's so difficult to reflect on.
Well, look at him.
Combs,
Look
now
at him.
54, acknowledges assault of Cassie in a message posted on Instagram days after the video surfaced.
I was up. I mean, I hit rock bottom, but I made no excuses. My behavior.
So this is supposed to be, we're supposed to listen to this and say, oh, well, he didn't mean it. He's so sorry.
On that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video.
Since Cassie's lawsuit, at least 8 others have followed. Combs has denied any wrongdoing. Don Richard first met Combs while filming the MTV reality show Making the Band.
But I just feel like Diddy's gonna pull something because that's just how he is.
Combs working on making Danity Kane the next big girl group.
Dawn, I need you to take the lead on that song. I need you to take the lead and produce those vocals, get those vocals right.
But behind the scenes, according to Richard's lawsuit, the group was subjected to verbal abuse and deprived of basic needs such as adequate food and sleep. She claims they were sometimes forced to work up to 48 hours with no breaks. Richard also alleges that during the filming of Making the Band, she saw Kim Porter, Combs' ex-partner and mother of 3 of his children, leaving his recording studio in tears with visible.
That Richard says that she knew that Sean Combs was capable of assault and some of the most heinous acts towards the women.
So many people are trying to break into the music industry. No matter how they're treated on those shows, it's very hard for them to leave because this is their lucky break. This is their dream.
Richard went on to work with Combs in another group called Diddy Dirty Money.
Like Puff says, it feels good to work with a team. I'm better with a team.
I never heard of this group before until recently. Has anybody else heard of them? Because I haven't.
According to her lawsuit, the harassment didn't stop. Richard says Combs groped her multiple times.
She claims that while in the dressing room, he would be there groping her buttocks under the auspice of, this is where I want her underwear to be showing. This is where I want her pants to be cut. This is where I want her top to be fitted.
It was around this time, the lawsuit says, that Richard was witness to multiple acts of violence against Combs' then-girlfriend, Cassie. In one incident, she alleges that in front of dinner guests, Combs forcefully punched Cassie in the stomach, causing her to double over in visible pain, crying.
Don Richard describes this one instance where...
And it's my understanding, even though I never watched Making the Band, it's my understanding that he was pretty much a narcissist on that program, even though I haven't seen, I heard.
Cassie's apparently making breakfast in the kitchen, and Diddy comes downstairs. She describes him as drug-addled, apparently high, and just starts yelling at Cassie. Diddy picks up the frying pan full of eggs and whatever and hurls it at her, causing Cassie to duck into a fetal position. And she said this is what made her, Don Richard, to be so afraid of him and what he was capable of.
There was also a financial...
Miss HLS, I heard about a story where he made them walk to go get some donuts or something like that. I just heard he was just very cruel to everybody on the show.
Toll. Richard claims she's owed upwards of $3 million for her work as an artist.
In the music industry, sexual harassment and sexual abuse of women is tolerated. A lot of very high-level people are complicit. Women suffer. Women are overly sexualized. They're discarded like trash after they complain. And a reckoning is long overdue. It takes a lot of people coming forward until somebody is believed against a very powerful person in the music industry.
A year ago this week, Combs was being celebrated at the MTV Video Music Awards, receiving the Global Icon Award for his impact on the industry.
It don't matter what religion you are, but make sure you know there's a higher power of love.
Tonight, he's far from that VMA stage. Just this week, he put his
You know what? Miss Boogie Down says, yes, MTV filmed Making the Band. The shit he had them doing was insane. Walking 20 miles on the Brooklyn Bridge to get some cheesecake from Junior's. That's what I'm saying. That is off. What does that have to do with singing? And this name right here that I don't know what it is. How are you doing? But she says, I watched Making the Band and he was awful to the talent. Isn't there beef with the choreographer Debbie? Aubrey has been on this for years. Yes, Aubrey has been talking about him. Two people who have really been talking about him for years is what's his name, Gene Dill, and Aubrey Day. She has been talking about him. And April B says cheesecake, and Freddie P said it was for Beyonce. Oh, really? I still don't understand why they had to walk. That's crazy. Jackson Tabasco said they want their award back.
$61 million LA mansion up for sale. The home had been raided by the feds earlier in the spring.
His name is now sullied by allegations that he denies, that he insists he will fight, but he is also facing a criminal investigation. The biggest threat that he faces is the prospect of criminal charges. Diddy, who once seemed untouchable in the world of entertainment, could in theory put him into prison.
Richard hasn't let any of this stop her. Her love for music still driving her. She's even gearing up to go on.
Hey, Bible lady. Bible lady said everything that he did was about power, control, and humiliation. How are you doing, Glorious Love? Glorious Love says, and Jaguar has been talking about this for years. Yes, she has. Yes, she has. Now, I'm going to tell you about Jaguar Wright. People dismiss her because of her antics, but she shouldn't be dismissed just because she's a little bit out there. Now, I don't know if everything she says is true, but I know probably the majority of it is.
On tour.
My message to Sean Combs is stop fighting the women, come clean, acknowledge what you have done, make amends, but I don't think any of that is going to happen.
Me either. I don't either. He's never going to take responsibility. I can't get over this not eating thing. I mean, who is it going to hurt? I also, they talked about how he is upset because he wants to talk to his kids. Well, can't he? I don't understand that. Why he can't talk to his kids. Obsessed with the mess says Jag
It has been a long journey to get here. She did not want to hide. Why should she hide?
Stop it. Obsessed with the mess says Jag has never been Sue's to, I think she's telling the truth. I do too. Wendy Williams was terrorized and threatened by him. Y'all know she used to date Biggie. She dated Biggie. So she's been all up in that inner circle. And Jackson. So if they're in isolation, can they not use the phone? I don't understand. I don't understand at all why he can't. He wants to talk to his kids and he can't. That's crazy. Now let's see. We're going to talk about what Law and Crime had to say about all this. Hey, Dimples Wimples. And do y'all? I think he's going through withdrawal too. He's got to be. If he was using drugs the way they say, he has got to be
Sean
going
Diddy
through
Combs
withdrawals.
isn't the only one. And the first arrested, his sons have been named in recent lawsuits. But could those allegations lead to more charges for the Combs family? We're taking a closer look with criminal defense attorney Natalie Whittingham Burrell. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Well, it's not really surprising that a lot of people have been speaking out since the arrest and indictment of Sean Diddy Combs on federal sex trafficking and racketeering charges. But now that includes the woman behind a lawsuit against his son, Christian Combs. So Sean Combs was indicted in federal court last week. He's going to be going up against the formidable prosecutors of the Southern District of New York. And until then, he's locked up at what's called the MDC, the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, New York. And this is a jail which has housed other celebrity inmates at times. It's been plagued with issues like unsanitary conditions, fights between inmates. There's a status conference for his case scheduled for October 10th. But as Combs now faces these criminal charges, there is a separate legal team that is dealing with the multiple civil lawsuits that are pending against him. And one of those complaints was filed by a woman named Grace O'Markey. So O'Markey was apparently a steward working aboard a yacht that was rented by Sean Combs in December of 2022 for a holiday celebration with his family, when she claims she was sexually assaulted by Christian Combs. And within weeks of Sean Combs' homes being raided back in March by federal agents, O'Markey filed a civil complaint against Christian and named his father, Sean Combs, in the suit as well for allegedly facilitating this assault to occur. Now, through her attorney, O'Markey put out a statement after Sean Combs was arrested saying, quote, "The long-awaited federal arrest of Sean Combs is the first step for our clients receiving justice. We leave the criminal aspect of this case in the hands of the people and justice system. As for the civil cases, we await our time for the facts to reveal themselves and seek the justice our clients deserve." It goes on to say, "We also anticipate more victims coming forward. We knew this was coming. The evidence is very clear, and it was only a matter of time. This is an important step towards justice for all of Mr. Combs' victims, including my clients. Justice will prevail." Hey, by the way, we really appreciate you guys coming to us for our Sean Combs coverage. We plan to continue to bring you updates on this story. And look, the reason we're able to do this is because not only of the support that
This woman that is suing now, I mean, I can't keep up. I'm going to sit down tomorrow maybe and do a list of, and probably in chronological order as from the first to the last, of his lawsuits, because it's like every time I look, there's a new victim. Bible Lady says the pink powder was Tucci, which is said to be a combo of a powerful drug that he used and demanded it supplied to him by his staff on command. Yes, everybody had to carry that around. I think it's ecstasy mixed with, Coca-Cola. I think that's what it is. I just always call it the pink stuff
that we get from you guys, but also from our sponsors. And if I can, I want to call out one right now, Upside. So this is so cool. Upside is a free app.
It's cool,
that
but we don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear that.
Liability. I've heard many judges say, I know that there's a concurrent case in the civil courts. We're going to let that play out. This is separate and apart from that. And the reason being is that it's a different burden of proof, beyond a reasonable doubt versus preponderance of the evidence. And so for that reason, you can't really let what happens in the civil context infiltrate the criminal context, because the trier of fact is determining something different.
Before I make these connections, because there could be overlap here, there is the possibility that, and I'll get to this in a second, whether or not Grace O'Markey may be cooperating with federal investigators, whether any piece of that evidence could come into the federal case. We'll get to that in a second. But what did you make of the statement from Grace O'Markey's legal team after Sean Combs was arrested?
I see. So what they're saying basically is that this is...
Hey, what happened?
Opening up.
Okay.
It's kind of opening up for more victims to come forward. And I think that's really what it's all about as far as the civil case is concerned. So more people might feel emboldened, like, look, there is a criminal case here. This means that what happened to me is valid and I am free to speak out about it, right? They'd always been waiting for it. I guess, if the feds had investigated and nothing had come of it, people might have felt less inclined to come forward. So as far as emboldening potential victims, yes, the criminal case would impact the psyche of a person who's potentially a victim of Sean Combs. Yes.
Let me ask you this. The statement where they're saying, this isn't a surprise. We expected this to happen. Now, that could be because we were all seeing what was happening play out. We knew that there were raids. There was reports about a grand jury being impaneled. There was reports that Sean Combs was the target of an investigation. Do you think that we're not surprised because we saw everything everybody else said? Or do you think we're not surprised because Grace O'Markey may be cooperating with the government as a witness in the federal criminal case?
Right. I see what you mean. It could be that. There's really no way to know whether or not she's cooperating. Because like with Cassie, you saw the details that Cassie alleged.
Jackson, Tabasco, they will probably turn state to evidence or something.
Her lawsuit being played out in the actual formal indictment and the letters that were written by the state to try and encourage the court to hold on to Sean Combs and not release him. Whereas I don't see a lot of specific detail overlap with what O'Markey is alleging, other than the fact that what she alleges confirms and supports what Cassie has been saying. It's interesting. I think what she says, O'Markey, more confirms and report what's in the Little Rod lawsuit, which is these things that were happening on yachts, which isn't really detailed in the criminal case.
And I'm going to get to that connection in a minute. I guess just more generally speaking, and this is interesting because the way the prosecutors filed these charges against Sean Combs, there's not a lot of independent sexual assault claims, right? They've really focused it more on these freak-offs, these sexual performance.
Go Roro said, well, Diddy needs to be glad he is in a Fed facility. They operate much better. Facts. I know, but you know what? They said that is like one of the worst prisons. So I don't know. I really don't know. I just know he needs to eat.
And the idea that the allegations are that he censored these sexual performances that were directed by Combs, that he would force people to be a part of them. He would transport people to be a part of them. He would drug people to engage in these freak-offs. And do you think that's strategic, that the prosecutors are not saying, we know that he's facing a number of sexual assault lawsuits, or his son might be facing a sexual lawsuit. We're not going to include that as kind of separate charges, or even evidence of freak-offs? Because what she's alleging, and we'll get to what she's alleging, she's not alleging a freak-off happened with her, right? And I'm thinking that federal...
Let me tell you something. These newscasters and stuff, they are really so fascinated by the use of the word freak off. They really are.
Prosecutors are very specific for a reason here, right?
Right. They're very specific for a reason because, first of all, you made a very good distinction. What Ms. O'Markey is alleging is against Christian Combs, Sean Combs' son, Diddy's son, not against Diddy himself as far as the actual essay is concerned. However, what it does do is kind of lay a foundation for the context in which they're saying these freak-offs happen. And so I think by leaving their indictment more general, they have left it open for more evidence to be introduced at trial, because they could easily say, well, this is relevant to the environment in which these freak-offs took place. This is why people would be afraid to come forward if they're facing the threat of, financial ruin, sexual assault, or being shunned in the entertainment community. And so for all of those reasons, even though this isn't specifically named in the criminal case, these actions by O'Markey, which makes complete sense because Christian Combs is not a defendant in the criminal case.
Yeah.
It certainly does add to context. And so now I could see now on the defense side, them wanting to do something akin to a bill of particulars, where they want to get more information from how actually the prosecution intends to prove this case, because they've left it so open that pretty much any of those bad acts could.
And so you're kind of laying the groundwork for how possibly Grace O'Markey could testify in a federal case, but there's a lot of things that need to happen before that. So I want to talk a little bit more about this. So we have Christian King Combs, 26-year-old.
Okay, that's all I wanted to play on that one. I dropped the link. I pinned the link. The link is pinned. So if anybody wants to come up, you are welcome to come up and express what you think and how you feel. Bible Lady says they are wearing that word out as of if they've been waiting their whole life to say it, just like when we were young and we was finally able to say lie instead of telling a story. Yeah, I mean, they're like fascinated by the word freak off. We've been hearing that for years at Diddy's house. So, I mean, I don't understand what the fascination is, but okay. They they are truly fascinated by that. Oh, come on, come on, come on. So that right there, that is all that I wanted to get into. And like I said, the link is there. I think that's all I wanted to get into. Yeah, that is. The link is there. So if anybody wants to come up and give their opinion on this, they certainly can. Now, also the guy that is in jail. So he they went back into court and did I can't think of the name of it, but anyway, so now Diddy does not have to pay him. So the guy is going to go ahead and take him to court, but I don't see how Diddy is going to come out of this anyway, criminally and civilly. I just don't see it. Bible lady, your typos, that's okay. I knew what you were saying, so it don't matter. If you took Bible lady, if you took that, you should not even be on here. You should be laying there relaxing if you took that. Okay, let me go through some comments. You see here. This one comment by TX Kit Kat says Wendy Williams was terrorized and threatened by him. Yeah, I know she was. She was back when she was messing with what's his name, Biggie. Bible lady says I heard today that he's not eating out of fear of being poisoned. Yes, and who's gonna poison him? I don't understand that. Who does he think is going to poison him? And why does he think someone is going to poison him? It makes no sense to me. Go Roro said the waiting period for phone privileges, if he isn't eating, they will say he's trying to unalive himself and put him in watch. I think that he was like instantly they put him in I don't think it was protective, or maybe it was for protective measures, but they put him in, isolation when he was arrested. Miss Boogie Down says, and the withdrawals cause hallucinations and paranoia. So he is refusing to eat because he thinks they are trying to poison his food. Maybe that is why he thinks they're trying to poison his food because of that. I never thought of that before. Going through withdrawals and whatnot, and he think he's going to be poisoned. Yes, and TX Kit Kat says apple don't fall too far from the tree. No, it doesn't go. Roro says dump whip. Yes, Jackson Dunn had a fire in Native, but is exploding over here. Y'all are crazy. And Go Roro said, well, Diddy need to be glad? Well, Diddy needs to be glad he is in a Fed facility. They operate much cleaner. Yeah, I think I read that comment already. Was that Natalie, the lawyer chick up there? That was on what is that? Law and Crime. Was that her? And Nesto. Now, who said Nesto was going to Leavenworth? Y'all think that's where y'all think that's where they'll send him to Leavenworth? Wherever they send him. Oh, I don't think he's going to make it. Maybe the two of them will be in the same jail. That would be interesting. That would really be interesting. Hey, Glorious Love said Suge gave him some good advice when he came on Chris Como's show. He just told him to accept to do his time, to come to terms with what he did. Have they said what the sentence is? Because I'm wondering if it's like life or something like that for Diddy's crimes. I'm just wondering. And that is it. I just wanted to do a little bit of Diddy. I didn't want to let it hang around and hang around and hang around. So I just wanted to do that. I don't know. I might it's only 11:44. Boy, I feel like I don't know, I feel like I'm cheating or something getting off this soon. Go Roro said, "No way, won't be in the same spot. Nesto is not federal. Nesto is state." Yeah, but hypothetically, wouldn't that be something? Because he knows everybody. He knows everybody. So, hey, let's talk about it. Said I know, right? Yeah, he knows everybody. He knows all the celebrities. Who is following? I asked this last time. I'm asking again. Who is following Little Dolph's case? Is that his name? Little Dolph? Well, whatever. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Is anybody following that case? Because I mean, it's kind of, I'm not, but I've looked at a few things and it is kind of interesting to me what is going on. So I want to know if anybody is following that because I might get into that if y'all want to get into it. Jackson, Tabasco, sometimes I'm up all night. Sometimes I usually don't go to bed or to sleep until like 4 a.m. So Bible Lady says, I'm celebration of Shirley's divorce. Yes, I'm sleeping in my pixie wig tonight. Oh, it's thank you. See, that's how much I'm on it. It's young doll, not little doll. I really want to get into it because I want to know what's his name? Yo Gotti. I want to know because they're saying he had his brother unalived, and is that his brother? I mean, are they? I don't understand. I didn't understand that at all. Nesto's Shackles Shuffle Walk of Shame said, I wonder when Sylvia will attach herself to the Diddy case. She has done a few videos on it. This was before he got arrested. So I don't know if she will do any after, perhaps maybe she'll just pray for him like she normally does for criminals. Now, I have a question. Who saw the divorce today? There was no recording. I guess Sean Hoover won something, but who saw that today? Because I didn't. Yep, sure. I wish I had me some cheesecake. Oh, I wish I had me some cheesecake. Whew. Well, all right, y'all. This is it. I'm going to get out of here. I should come back and do a Shirley party. I really should. 50% Creole, 50% Californian says, then maybe Diddy will help him with his book. Remember, he got 300 pages. He don't need any help because he's got 300 pages. Oh my goodness. My goodness. Hey, Nola Brown. Yeah, I'm gonna get off here. I gotta do something and then I will come back. Maybe we'll in honor of Shirley, maybe we will do a call. So if y'all are still up when I come back in about 15 minutes, if y'all are still up, come and join me. You are so welcome, Jackson Tabasco. Thank you, my fabulous Moonlight mods. Y'all are so wonderful. I thank you very much. And I thank all of you for being here. And we are going to go ahead and get out of here and come back. Let's get music. Let's get some music. And thanks again for the Cash Apps. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Don't forget to thumbs up the video